The HAT5300 is part of the brand new hard drive series offered by Synology. The HAT5300 is available in 3 variants, all identical apart from the storage capacity and the dimension of the cache. You have a choice of either 8TB, 12TB or 16TB with the HAT5300. No 20TB model yet, unfortunately. In this review we have the HAT5300 8TB variant, which is the smallest and cheapest model you can get, the perfect candidate for a home NAS setup. In this review we will see its performance in a regular desktop environment and see how it stacks against the competition. The Synology HAT5300 8TB is priced at $400 or euros. However, the price has been going up and down lately, and I have seen this hard drive go as low as $360, so you might need to shop around to get the best price possible. In terms of the specifications, the HAT5300 8TB is an enterprise-level hard drive and has a maximum speed of 7,200 RPM with a buffer size of 256 MB. In addition, this hard drive has an advertised maximum sustained data transfer rate of 230 MB per second and uses the standard SATA interface for data transfer and power. For endurance, the HAT5300 8TB is sold with a 5-year warranty and a workload rating of 550 TB transferred per year. The design is simple. In all honesty, it's hard to make a hard drive look different than other models, and we are talking about an enterprise hard drive, a sector of the industry that is known for caring a lot about function and performance and leaving the design on the last place if not forgetting it at all. The HAT5300 8TB and in fact the entire HAT series are made especially to be used inside the Synology ecosystem and the Synology NAS products. While these hard drives will work in a regular desktop or a different type NAS, their main feature is the use of installation and the operation with the Synology NAS. However, what's the point of using these hard drives in your Synology NAS? Well, one of the features that these HAT hard drives have that others do not is the fact that the HAT can have its firmware updated on the fly and has a couple of tweaks that make it work better in a NAS enclosure. The firmware update via the Synology ecosystem and software is really what makes these hard drives take the stand against the competition, as it will offer a better and more secure way of doing critical updates without removing the hard drives from your NAS or getting your hands dirty with a manual firmware update for multiple drives. The HAT5300 is made by Toshiba, which is great to see as Toshiba has a history of good and reliable storage units, especially within the enterprise sector. In fact, the HAT5300 series is based on the Toshiba MG Enterprise series, a hard drive series that is known for its reliability and performance and has a good track record to prove it as well. The testing of the HAT5300 8TB hard drive is done using a regular desktop system. This is done to remove any variables that might come into play if I were to test the hard drive inside the NAS. That test will be done as well in a future review, so have no fear. The installation of the HAT5300 is identical with any hard drive. You install it in the designated spot and mount the 2 cables, one for data and one for power. The first test is a basic file copy test. In this test we have a folder with a total file size of 20 GB and we are going to duplicate it inside the single partition HAT5300 hard drive. In this case the speed starts off good at over 2.9 GB per second but quickly drops and stabilizes at 195 MB per second until it drops off again to an average of 100 MB per second. If we double the file size to 43 GB we get a constant speed between 85 and 90 MB per second. This is nothing unusual as a hard drive can do so much with large file transfers. Also keep in mind that these tests are done on a single hard drive and not on a RAID setup. The first synthetic benchmark is the well-known Crystal Disk Mark, now at version 8. This is the default benchmark for all storage devices, as it's open source, easy to use and reliable in terms of these results. And in this test, the HAT5300 reached a maximum read speed of 251 MB per second and a maximum writing speed of 248 MB per second. This places the HAT5300 8TB ahead of the server and NAS grade hard drives, models such as the Seagate Iron Wolf or the Western Digital Upgrade series. However, the differences between these drives are small enough that they will not make the difference in your daily usage. The second synthetic benchmark is the Auto Disk Benchmark, a piece of software that uses multiple data packets to test all types of storage devices, including hard drives, M.2 SSDs or USB flash drives. And in this test, the Synology HAT5300 has a peak reading speed of 237 MB per second and a maximum writing speed of 230 MB per second, being slower than the Seagate Iron Wolf, which has a peak speed of 273 MB per second. Still, the HAT5300 is maintaining a constant speed across the board in these tests. All these tests are using a single hard drive, which is not the purpose of the Synology HAT5300. However, it does show the performance and, more importantly, the consistency of the speeds delivered by this hard drive, while keeping the performance on the same level or ahead of the competing models from Seagate or Western Digital. The Synology HAT5300 gets ahead thanks to its added features that make it easier to use and install within a Synology NAS and operating system. The performance of the HAT5300 is good, especially when looking at what other hard drives are delivering within the same price range. Underneath its new label and name, the Synology HAT5300 is made by Toshiba and it is based on the Toshiba MG Enterprise series. However, there have been plenty of additions on the firmware level to make it stand out performance-wise and to work best within the Synology ecosystem. While there are hard drives out there that are cheaper and will deliver roughly the same performance, none will match the level of consistency offered by the HAT5300 or the endurance rating. While other models have a workload rating of 300 or so terabytes transferred per year, the HAT5300 has a workload rating of 550 terabytes transferred per year, an impressive achievement within this price range. If you are planning on building your very own NAS based on the Synology ecosystem, then the HAT5300 is a great choice thanks to its features and ease of usage. If you want to use the HAT5300 in a different type NAS or a server, then you can, and it will perform just as well. However, the support and firmware updates will not be as easy to do as within the Synology system. If you like this review, then you might consider subscribing for more, and if you want to support me in a direct way, then in the description below you will find the links for both the Patreon and the Subscriber Star pages of this channel.